case, by Lori Frederick, dining editor on Milwaukee. How are you doing today, Lori?
Hey guys, I'm doing pretty well. I'm outside in my yard, and I'm actually liking this weather quite a bit.
It's kind of perfect out. It's like
it feels very perfect.
degrees. It's like a nice. It feels more like fall. That's the one thing I'll say.
It does.
Feels more like September than August,
yes.
But that's not a bad thing. August is normally hot as hell and really crappy.
And honestly, I feel better about it because if this were fall, we could be expecting snow any day, and I know for a fact that shouldn't happen.
Shut up, Lori. We don't use the S word here, Lori. We don't use the S word in August.
Yeah, no, because it's not. There's no danger. I'm pretty sure, unless the world is really more screwed up than I thought. All right, you can blame me if we get snow. You can blame me. All right.
Yeah, Lori, nothing's gone right in 2020. So when the snow apocalypse hits on August 20, everybody, remember, Lori screwed this up. Lori, over here.
All my fault.
That's Lori's fault.
All my fault.
But we're not going to talk about snow. Instead, we're going to talk about something hot and deep fried. We are talking about these boys. We're talking about these dudes right here. Lori, what am I holding in my... Oh, he's sliding off the plate. Lori, what have I got here?
You have what I have, and that is the Italian Stallion from Water Street Brewery.
Ooh.
And this particular creation, which is basically an egg roll wrapper stuffed with... I think it's stuffed with like... It's basically like an Italian beef wrap in a deep fried egg roll wrapper. And they introduced this last year as one of the offerings for State Fair. And remarkably, and maybe unsurprisingly, it was number one on my list of all of the State Fair foods that I ate last year.
Dang, Lori.
But
maybe that was just the fair talking. You know, maybe that was just the fair high. Maybe you were just...
Might have been.
Maybe you were just drunk on cream puff.
It could have been.
Now
we're really, really full from all of the other things that I ate.
So but now we're doing them for realsies.
Yeah, so they're bringing them back. They're going to start serving them on October 6th. And I think for October, did I say October? I meant August.
October. So, there you go again, Lori. Why do you want it to be winter?
I don't know. I like the fall. Anyway, but they're bringing these back for kind of a limited time engagement in celebration of the State Fair that will not be exactly. And so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's fair. And this isn't the only thing they're bringing back, correct? They are also bringing back another favorite, another popular item. Do you want to let people know about that?
Yes, if people remember the deep fried old fashioned,
how could you forget?
Also made appearances at Summerfest last year, maybe even the year before. Hugely popular item. They're also going to be serving those. They're going to be available at all of the Water Street Brewery locations. And I'm looking this up right now to tell you exactly when they're going to be available.
Yeah, and I'll let people know what is all officially inside these Italian Stallions right here. So this is Italian beef marinated in Oktoberfest beer. Ooh. Garlic, onions, and Italian seasoning. Sliced thin, layered with mozzarella and provolone, and then they tuck in some spicy garniera as well, and then they wrap it in a wonton and deep fry it, because what else are you going to do with fair food? You got to deep fry it.
They do. Got to be deep fried. Definitely.
Got to be deep fried. And then we put it in our mouths.
We do. And we take a bite. And these are going to be available. I did look. So August 6th. So I think that's Thursday through the 16th of August. And I think both of the items, the deep fried old fashioned and these deep fried Italian Stallions, which, sounds like such a macho name. I don't know.
Well, you know the origins of the name, correct, Lori?
I don't know if I do.
It is the nickname for Rocky Balboa himself.
Oh, right.
Sylvester Stallone. Because Sylvester Stallone, before he became a famous actor, did some unsavory pornography films, including one called The Italian Stallion.
I like the version where he was just a horse.
Before. Yeah, it also is a reference to Black Beauty, the horse. All right, well, shall we take a bite?
Let's take a bite.
Mm. Mm.
Ooh.
See,
I've got a good showing of giardiniera in here.
I've been missing deep fried foods because when you're ordering takeout and you're staying at home and you're cooking your own food when you're not ordering takeout, I don't order a lot of deep fried food because deep fried food doesn't travel the best normally, you know?
Yeah, unless the place you're ordering from is really close to you.
Yeah.
That can be tough.
And then so like I haven't had deep fried food in a long time. And so like biting into a crispy deep fried wrapper is already, I'm getting like massive throwbacks now to last year's state fair, and I'm so happy about it. It's also, this is legit got some heat to it. This has got actual flavor.
Yeah, there's some serious, I mean, I have a good showing of giardiniera in mine. And it is a Wisconsin approved amount of cheese, which I think is exactly what I said.
Yeah. So if you saw the bite that I just took, I had an awesome treat
in my
stretch going.
Of the cheese. Yeah.
Mm.
And the Italian beef is really good.
It reminds me a lot of my favorite pizza, like Pizza Man, because Pizza Man has a really good meatball pizza, where it's like sliced up meatballs and giardiniera on a pizza. And this reminds me a lot of that, but deep fried and in a wrapper. So somehow they found a way to turn a pizza into something even better.
There we go. Yeah, and I think it does a pretty good job of being a good version of like an Italian beef sandwich with some fixings that you don't always find. There's a place in Philadelphia, in one of their great little markets. Actually, you can find it all over, but Italian pork is huge in Philadelphia, and it's generally served with like sharp provolone and spicy like pickled peppers and almost always like sautéed broccoli rabe.
Are you just describing Italian Philly cheesesteak, Lori?
Not a Philly cheesesteak, because it's like a slow braised Italian pork that's not unlike like Italian beef, only it's like their version, and it is so good. And that actually, this reminds me quite a bit of that, with the pork subbed out for the beef, of course, because most of the components, with the exception of broccoli rabe, would be a little too healthy for state fair.
Yeah, and I don't know if you'd want to deep fry broccoli rabe, because I feel like that veggies can be very liquidy, can be very watery, and as a result, you can get a really weird, gross.
But texture. They deep fried butter once, so.
Yeah, important to note. I know we talked about how deep fried food has a hard time traveling well. These travel really well. I'm getting a legitimate crunch when I bite into this. And pro tip, if you do order these from Water Street Brewery, which you can through August 16th, you said, Lori?
The 16th.
Yep. So if you get them, I recommend putting them in the oven on like low heat and just giving them a little, just letting them cook a little bit. Just letting them get a little extra, get them a little extra crispy. Obviously, don't put them in there on like 300 or something like that, because then you won't have.
No, you can probably go up to about 250, I would think, on these. And as long as you don't leave the plastic. So mine came in like an aluminum tray with a plastic cover. Take the cover off immediately, because otherwise the moisture content gets all in there and makes everything really, really.
You see that cheese stretch?
Oh, you got a good cheese stretch. Let me see. I'm going to break mine open. I wonder if mine is. Yeah, I'm not getting that. Mine is not quite as warm as yours. Oh, wait. I got some cheese.
Oh, you got some stretch.
Look at that. There we go.
You got some goo.
So, in fact, it's almost like.
Something to know is that obviously these are not at the state fair because there is no state fair this year. Right. But important to note that the state fair is doing they are doing their drive-through right now, which is awesome. Have you tried that out yet, Lori?
I haven't gone and done that. Have you?
I haven't done it yet either, but you know what? I might have to do it this week. You want to know why? Because they got cream puffs this week.
They do have cream puffs this week.
Are back at the drive-through. And obviously that's the featured thing. I know Molly on Milwaukee's own Molly Snyder. She did the State Fair drive-through, and she got herself some pickle pizza and enjoyed all that. And they have a new menu each week. So obviously this week they've got the cream puff, which is the most important. Mm-hmm. But they still have the famous ribeye stick sandwich. They got baked potatoes. They got roasted corn on the cob. They got the deep fried veggie bucket.
Deep fried veggie bucket. That sounds almost like healthy.
I know veggies, but you deep fry them and then they're fine.
Right. But they were fine.
You got Saz's. You got Milwaukee Pretzel Company. You can get a Millie's Italian sausage, and then of course you can get cream puffs. So there's you can get a legitimate State Fair meal there. Cream puff for dessert. Deep fried veggies for the appetizer. And all that stuff. You can get all that right now. So it's like the State Fair isn't canceled, which is nice.
Yeah.
Do you have any foods you're particularly missing, Lori? I mean, obviously not this because we're eating this now. We don't have to miss this.
It's funny because I've been a big, long-time fan of the deep-fried olives at the State Fair. And, I mean, I like olives. You kind of have to go there and like them in order for that to work. But they are probably the best because I always end up somehow going to State Fair on the first day, and it always ends up to be like one of the hottest days of the year. And you're sweating buckets, and I'm trying to eat 15 or so things, and you get towards the end, and those deep fried olives, they're crispy and really briny, and they just beg for you to drink a beer, which I think that's what State Fair is all about is, snacking on fried things and enjoying a few beers and, all that good stuff. Oh, there's a bunny on my patio. Hey, Matt, are you frozen? Am I frozen? Matt is frozen mid-bite, which is hilarious. Oh, and now he's disappeared. I wonder if he'll be back. Anyway, I'm sitting here on my patio, and I literally have a bunny that's probably three feet or so from me. He kind of was stopping by and saying hi. That was actually pretty crazy. Nature in the city. So
I'm back.
Hey, you were back. You were literally frozen.
The bite was so good that it froze me, that I broke time.
Yeah.
It was so good. And honestly, these have been so good. Thank you.
So good.
Water Street Brewery, you are doing the Lord's work by delivering these.
Yeah. These are as good as I remember them. They taste as good on my patio as they tasted at State Fair. Maybe, I don't know.
You have the perfect beverage to wash this down right now.
Well, and I am actually drinking a beer. What kind of beer am I drinking? Oh, this is the Cripe Sake.
Hold beer. On, Paul. We want Paul. We want Paul. We want Paul. We want Paul.
My husband is hiding around the corner. So we're gonna. Oh.
Come on, Paul. Hey. How you doing, Paul?
Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you were. So
I'm delayed.
How much do you hate me, Paul? How much do you hate me for dragging you on camera?
How much do you hate him for dragging you on camera?
Oh, I don't hate it very much.
He's not on headphones. Here, I should give you a headphone.
There we go.
Then you can actually hear Matt. Because if I unplug the headphones, then I won't be able to hear anything.
You gave me the wrong ear.
He's only somewhat annoyed.
How have you been doing, Paul? How's life?
Life's okay.
That's good. Thank you for letting me borrow your wife for our podcasts and for these live videos where we eat delicious foods.
That's okay.
He can't.
Really, this is so good. I feel really bad. I feel gross.
I mean, as long as I get some, I'm fine with it.
Oh, see.
Paul, do you have a favorite State Fair food?
I did like the dill pickle pizza.
But
Okay.
there were no pickles on it when we tried it. That was a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with all of you people liking the veggie stuff at State Fair? What's wrong with all that? No one has said deep fried Oreos yet, which is obviously
like garnishes, like pickles.
Oh, the unicorn Twinkie was pretty.
Oh, that was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
The unicorn Twinkie was remarkably good.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, one second. See, the mic is on your side, so I have to like maybe talk closer.
I've made all of my stallions disappear.
But anyway, so this beer is the
Cripe Sake.
From Dead Bird Brewing.
Ooh.
And we're talking about takeout, and I got some really good takeout. Dead Bird does vegan food.
Interesting.
But like some really good, just solid, comforting variations on different things.
Not like vegan food.
Not like, well, it's not like bird food.
Yeah. Ironic for a place called Dead Bird.
So
they should call bird food.
We did joke about it, and I mean no harm to anyone by saying this, but I did joke with him and say, you have a brewery called Dead Bird, so you should have an all poultry menu.
This is true. It's actually kind of.
I realize it's a terrible, terrible joke when you're a place serving vegan food. So I apologize for that.
Yeah, Lori, apologize.
It's just a matter of the cleverness on the name. No, but they have a really pretty good selection of food. We tried actually their vegan queso, which unsurprisingly, like, it's not as cheesy as you would expect from a cheeseless.
The vegan queso isn't cheesy.
But it was delicious, and I keep thinking to myself, and this would be a huge indulgence, but like I would totally pour it over like enchiladas or like chilaquiles, like for brunch. So I keep meaning to go back and get a deli full of it so that I can do that.
Yeah, just get like a growler filled with it.
It was pretty tasty.
Yeah. I've actually had vegan. I've had vegan queso before, and I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian by any means. But I will say I didn't miss the cheese part of the vegan queso. It tasted just like actual queso. I didn't miss it. It was really flavorful, really gooey, really really delicious. So
yeah. I'm often remarkably amazed, and I also tend to go into eating vegan food without the expectation that it's going to be anything but what it is. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important. Like, I personally really like tofu, but I don't like when they try to make tofu. Like, tofu will never really taste like chicken.
When they try to disguise tofu as something else.
And I feel like tofu in and of itself, like, I don't know, give it some of its own flavor, and it's pretty good. So you just have to kind of meet it where it is. So, but carry out wise, we were talking about food and carry out, and you said you've got carry out lately. Anything?
I've been doing a lot of carry out. I've been doing my part to support local businesses, and ruining my pants as a result. Just my belt loops are just really struggling. But I've been the big discovery I've had is Sweet Basil. We interviewed the owner of that for the podcast about a week or two ago, and it is fantastic. I have spent a frankly absurd amount of money at Sweet Basil recently because every time I look at the menu, I'm like, well, I'm going to need that, going to need that, going to need that, going to need that. And then
it's fairly close to your house.
Yeah, it's in Franklin, I believe. It's in Franklin. They do curbside right now, and I think they do delivery for places that are close by.
Yeah.
And it's street Lao food, and a little bit of Thai food as well. So they've got a lot of the staples, like they got like pad Thai and a lot of the things you might expect from an Asian food restaurant. But then they've also got outstanding Lao street food. So I'm talking about Lao sausage, Lao jerky. Lao steak, just really outside. They've got an incredible, if you like spicy food, and not even like killer spicy food, but just really flavorful spicy food. They have an outstanding fried rice that has, I think it's Is
it the jiaobong fried rice?
Jiaobong fried rice. So it's
so
like kind of a spicy Lao paste, chili paste that's put into the fried rice. So it's just got this bonus kick. And now they have a noodle version of it, and it is so craveable and so preposterously addictive. I'm really annoyed that I'm not eating it right now, and I'm all out of my Italian Stallion, so I can't eat anything right now. I've totally mismanaged this, Lori.
Yeah. Well, and if you've tried Sweet Basil, the other place where you should go, where they're doing great Lao food, is there's quite a few places, but Thumb is a newer place too, in the Crossroads Collective.
Thumb.
And Tum. I'm sorry, Tum. I'm spelling it like it's, or I'm saying it like it's spelled, but it's called Tum. Like, like the little sound that a drum would make, like Tum.
Like tum.
Yes. And they have some of the best, like, Lao barbecued, Lao grilled meats that you will ever find. Yeah. Well, you remember when we went and we did that big tasting?
One of the last normal things I've done, yeah.
One of the last things we did together was the sap. We did the big sap pop-up tasting, and we tasted all of their stuff. Well, Darlene was the chef for sap at that point, and she's the one who owns Stum.
Oh, so Small Walkie strikes again.
Milwaukee, yeah. So she had her eyes on starting a place and was able to do that. It's pretty cool.
We got a comment from someone saying they had a cauliflower dish, and I love cauliflower. I'm not a huge...
Yes, she has. I was talking about the grilled meats, but the cauliflower is amazing. Like, whether you love vegetables or not, it was delicious. Agreed.
It'll make you a cauliflower convert.
Yeah. The flavors
what about you, Lori? Any takeout that you've particularly been enjoying and savoring during all of this?
A lot, quite a bit. And I could give you a laundry list of things I've had really good. So, if we stick on kind of the Southeast Asian food category, I had some really, really great takeout early on from Momomi.
Ooh, they're doing takeout?
Excellent. They are doing takeout. They also have a really nice, like, socially distanced patio where things are really actually spaced out, like 10 or more feet between tables. They're being really, really safe about it. But we got we got some dumplings, but I had a really, really good batch of danda noodles that made that trip really, really.
Am I out of food?
And I also had the best, like, corned beef. I think it was technically a Reuben corned beef sandwich from May Velma's, which is a little place kind of on my side, kind of the northwest side of town. Okay. And they're known for their corned beef. And I'd never gone there or tried it out, but they have a drive-through, and it was good. It rivals some of the other places in town that have great corned beef.
I'll also check that out as well. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of my favorites. I've been doing tenutas for Italian food. Always love tenutas. Guanajuato for Mexican food.
I love Guanajuato. Yeah.
In Bayview. Right now, I'm currently in Hales Corner, so I've been doing some local places around here. So we're doing some fish fries over at Clifford's, which is a very classic fish fry. Yep. If you've ever had, or that's amore for really classic Italian food. And now I'm going to have to do Water Street Brewery because those 3 Italian Stallions were nowhere near enough. I've failed my stomach in not ordering more. They should have delivered. Should have ordered more.
And they're a good size. So
they're like a good little appetizer / meal. Like, I should be sated now. Until like an hour and a half from now when I need to eat more.
But my bet is that you did not have lunch.
I didn't have lunch or breakfast, Lori.
Classic Matt move.
Classic Matt, not eating.
It's good to eat. It's good to eat, Matt.
It is good to eat. Thank you for that advice, Lori. Thank you for coming on to the video, Paul. Thank you for letting me bully you into being on here. Thank you to Water Street Brewery for bringing out these Italian Stallions and also bringing them back to their menu. Remember, you have until August 16th to order.
And they really are. And they really are as good as they ever were.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe better. I don't know. I'm sort of at odds with myself about that. I mean, it's just, it hits the spot today for sure.
Absolutely.
So
Oh, we have a comment. I'm assuming from Carolyn again. Where are we trying? What are we trying next, Lori? What are we? Because we're gonna be eating again
next Tuesday, and I'm not sure what we're trying, but we are going to try a number of things off of the menu from the Cream City Cluckery, which I'm excited about this because way back at the beginning of the pandemic, I wrote a piece on like what could possibly happen, like what are we going to expect as this rolls on, and what new things might happen. And one of the things that I suggested had a really good chance of happening were the appearance of ghost kitchens. And ghost kitchens are like locations that make and serve really good food, but it is completely in a place where you will never go to, and everything is digitized. So like everything's online, the menu's online, you order online, you pick up, or it's delivered to you. But it's basically a place where you wouldn't go and eat there. So it's like it was going to be magical like kitchen place that you just order food from that has like no atmosphere. No, not ghost cooks. I mean,
not one.
So, but the Cream City Cluckery was kind of, I'm thinking like this was sort of a way to keep some of the food folks at Fiserv, busy doing something kind of interesting and exciting, and producing carry out that
Who's
people.
Who's going to turn down chicken tenders? Who's going to turn down chicky teas?
Yeah. So there's chicken tenders, and I don't know. We're gonna get a selection of things off their menu, and
I have to eat for work.
So. And it's terrible. You're going to have to eat like fried chicken things for work. So you guys can watch for that, I think, next Tuesday. I think we'll do that in the afternoon again. I think we're picking up food around 2. So
meet us here on Milwaukee's Facebook page where we're going to eat more food and tell you if it's good. And then we'll do more banter like we've just done for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll goad Paul back onto camera.
And I'll probably come back on.
And Paul will hide. Yeah.
More Paul!
If there's food involved, I'll be there.
So gradually he will just
replace me with Paul.
Me out. And eventually all you'll have is Paul.
It'll just be the Matt and Paul show. I'm not sorry, Lori, unnecessary. Actual food expert. We got to get you out of here.
Not true.
Not true.
I'm not leaving that easily, as much as I joke.
I am her second stomach at State Fair.
Oh,
that is true.
Okay.
No, this is very appropriate because when I go and I eat all like 15 or 20 foods or whatever, I'm up for.
Paul's your support stomach.
I take my necessary bites, and then Paul consumes virtually the rest of the food because
the garbage disposal.
Well, there's 2 things that are happening here. Number one, I don't think I could eat all of the food. Like physically, I don't think that would sit well. But number 2, in order to be fair, when you're judging foods, especially so many, is you can't get really full, because then things don't seem as good to you when you're not at least a little bit hungry for it.
I ran into that when I tried the entire Taco Bell breakfast menu.
Yeah. See, by the end of it, like things aren't as good as they might have been. So, in all fairness to people, I try not to get my whole palate worn out and my stomach full before I get to the 15th thing.
You're so freaking good at your job.
I try to be fair. That's all. It's about being fair.
Well, thank you, Lori, for being so good at your job. Thank you, Paul, for being Paul. Thank you, Water Street Brewery, for the Italian Stallions. And thank you for all of you who've been watching this Facebook Live video. Remember, join us again next Tuesday afternoon. We'll be back here. I don't know. Eating food. It's great.
Hey, you can watch for our next FoodCrush podcast, which should drop tomorrow night, probably around 6. And we have an amazing, amazing chat with Francesca Hong from Morris Ramen in Madison, because she is a restaurant owner. If you haven't been to their restaurant, like amazing ramen. She's gotten through COVID. She's been an advocate for a lot of things throughout COVID, and she is now running for Wisconsin Assembly.
So we might have a few things to talk about.
is amazing.
Just a few
Amazing.
things to talk about. With
Just
that
a
one.
few things.
Yeah.
So,
But thank you,
Yeah,
everybody.
much
Make
better.
sure to tune into that tomorrow night, 6 o'clock-ish on Milwaukee podcast, Food Crush podcast. And thanks for tuning in today. And have a great Tuesday. You're 2/5 the way through the week. You did it, everybody.
it's almost hump day, right?
It's almost hump day. 40%.
40%'s not that good, Matt.
Well, tell my grade school teachers that.
All right.
Stop recording, Carolyn.